past few years, the Conservation Garden Park team has been working on a new series of exhibits designed to help homeowners understand and implement the lessons they've learned in the gardens classes. Join us on a tour of these new spaces and see how Conservation Garden Park is helping its visitors achieve real conservation.
We're at the Pollinator exhibit at the garden. It's an exhibit that we've been working on for the last year. The idea behind the exhibit is to show how to have a pollinator-friendly landscape in your residential landscape. It was installed using a matrix-style planting design that uses about 50 to 60% ornamental grasses and the rest perennial flowers for the pollinators. One of the things that we get asked a lot here at the garden is about recirculating water features and how much water they use. There's really no data on how much water they use, so we decided to try it out ourselves. So we installed a drilled rock fountain and metered it to see how much water it would actually use, and it surprised us how little water it used. Through the summer it was only using about 65 to 70 gallons a month, which is actually very little water, especially compared to what the rest of the landscape uses. Part of the Pollinator exhibit is example paths that people can look at and try to decide what they want in their own localscape. Paths are a great way to get from one place to another in a localscape, and they also reduce maintenance at the same time. The centerpiece of the new garden expansion is the Localscapes exhibit. The Localscapes exhibit was designed to replicate a quarter-acre residential landscape, including a front yard, a backyard, and in the middle is a large pavilion that replicates the house. The idea behind this landscape was to take away some of the scale issues or interpretive issues that we had in the past with the older parts of the garden. While people loved the older parts of the garden, they had a hard time figuring out how to take what they saw here at the garden and put it into their own landscape. The first element of a localscape and the defining feature of a localscape is the central open shape, which is typically lawn, which you can see behind me. Lawn in this exhibit takes up about 20% of the landscaped area in the front yard. We're not anti-lawn, we just want to show people how to use lawn correctly and in an efficient manner. Step 2 of a localscape are gathering areas. Patios and gazebos and decks have always been popular here in Utah, but we want to make them even more popular by adding more to a landscape. Yet again, people don't know what to do if they don't have lawn in areas. Gathering areas are a great option to replace lawn and actually make it so you want to spend more time in your landscape. In the backyard of the Localscapes exhibit, we have a vegetable garden, which is a type of activity zone, which is step 3 of a localscape. Vegetable gardens are really popular here in Utah, and they're a great way for people to use their yard and, believe it or not, save a little bit of water too by removing lawn out of an area, putting in vegetable garden boxes with drip irrigation. Side yards like this one are usually forgotten areas of the landscape. People end up using lawn in this area. They don't really know why they put lawn in this area. They just don't know what else to do. But this actually presents a great opportunity to save water by putting in planting beds, and step 4 of a localscape, a pathway like this. Step 5 is planting beds. It's usually the first thing that people think about when they're thinking about their landscape, but it's actually the last element of a well-designed localscape. When designed and installed correctly, planting beds can be really low maintenance when installed with mulch and drip irrigation. We're now inside the Localscapes house. It acts as the centerpiece of the exhibit, but also an outdoor classroom where we can teach homeowners the Localscapes concepts while they experience the exhibit in real life. If someone's not ready to take on a full Localscapes project, a great place for them to start is a park strip. And we've created a park strip exhibit to show 8 different styles of park strips that they can recreate in their own landscape. For each park strip that we have a downloadable park strip design that they can print off and use in their own landscape.
Conservation Garden Park's new exhibits showcase practical projects that solve landscaping challenges for homeowners, while also benefiting the environment and producing measurable conservation. To help bridge the remaining gaps between idea and implementation, we've tied these exhibits to programs that bring the expertise of our staff to the real-world landscapes of homeowners through the Flip Your Strip and Localscapes reward programs on UtahWaterSavers.com. The combination of these programs, along with our classes and the new garden expansion, have allowed us to work with homeowners to achieve real conservation like never before.